Ototo is one of the most successful brands on Amazon. And in this awesome interview with Dani, co-founder of Ototo, we're going to dive into some of the strategies that made this brand so successful. All right. Hi, Dani. Thank you for spending this time with me. Let's start by quick introduction. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Cool. Thanks for having me, Dorian. Happy to be here. Originally I was raised and born in Jerusalem, and I used to be since childhood a daydreamer, always gazing on the clouds, seeing different shapes, and being quite artistic in my from childhood, basically doing a lot of graffiti and snow and skateboarding. And then it was natural for me to study product design. After graduating school, basically I did a master degree in Milan, and then partnered up with a colleague of mine. And this was back more than 20 years ago. Established, and then basically here we are 20 years later, but we established the Ototo brand immediately when we graduated design school.
Ototo exemplifies a brand that masterfully crafts a distinctive and recognizable style, blending functionality with emotional appeal. Dani and his team's commitment to original product design has set Ototo apart. Their design approach is not based on white labeling, positioning them well ahead of competitors who seek shortcuts. What ways do you think your brand stands out in the competitive market, especially of household products?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that every brand owner or founder should ask himself every morning, how do I do it differently? Because I just saw research that there are more than 300 million brands out there, and it's so competitive and so saturated. And in the end, if I believe that if you're not bringing your audience, your tribe, a new message, it's almost impossible to break through. So Ototo for us, it's we try to infuse innovation, storytelling, a fun message to our audience. So these are our core values in a sense: being creative, being fun, but still being practical and usable.
This approach to prioritizing design is not unique to Ototo. Leaders like Steve Jobs of Apple, Elon Musk of Tesla and SpaceX, and Sir James Dyson, who once said, "Manufacturing is more than just putting parts together, it's coming up with ideas," have all demonstrated the significant impact of design-led strategies in their companies. And how do you drive this innovation in a company like yours?
So today we are a team of 6 designers working together on a daily basis, sitting together in the same open studio. Basically, we are very organized. We have these weekly meetings that we infuse new concepts on a weekly basis.
How do you manage the daily operations of the business with the creative workflow, the design workflow? And what do you think the importance of having that workflow, the design and creative workflow, is in a company like yours?
So we always have one of the creative team in every meeting, even if it's sourcing or logistics, because everything connects in the end and everything needs to work together. So even on for example, our markings for the outer and inner boxes, we have we're trying to infuse creativity. So even on the outer boxes that the consumer will not see, we're trying to bring Ototo look and feel. So the person that will deliver it will understand it's unique. Okay, so I'm looking at it a bit as a Willy Wonka factory, you know. So we are doing things that are different here, and we want the message to bypass on all channels. It doesn't matter what we're doing.
Brands that proactively address and intercept customer needs often enjoy heightened brand loyalty and sustainable growth. Differentiation is also no longer enough. Jonathan Ive famously said, "It's very easy to be different, but very difficult to be better." Maybe you can give us an idea of like the few principles and the philosophy behind Ototo.
Yeah, I would say it's very simple, you know, like the product is the hero. And then everything follows. So our accounting will probably come back, you know, on the weekend and have a chilling weekend with his friends, and he will talk about Ototo because he likes the product, you know, because he likes and so we get so many ambassadors, you know, all the tribe around us are proud to be part of this, you know, and it's not related to me or my co-founder or anyone else. It's related to the products because they deliver a message that everybody, you know, would be in a sense happy to deliver.
In the realm of Amazon, shortcuts are a myth. Anyone suggesting otherwise is likely not trustworthy. Relying solely on white labeling products has its limits. For those aiming at long-term growth and success, embracing creativity is the only way forward. I guess Ototo is most well known for its aesthetics and the playfulness, but they're also very functional products. When you look at them and you think of it, it's very clever. Like, how do you bridge that gap between aesthetics and functionality, and which one's more important?
Well, it's really interesting question. So the big question is it form follow function, or is it function follow forms?
Yeah.
So there is a delicate balance between them, especially in Ototo. But for us, you know, we learned from the past, and we know that if the product will get, you know, bad reviews, it's the end of the product. So we are making sure to today more than ever to do, you know, the highest quality we can, working with really good manufacturers, making sure we have the right, you know, ingredients, materials. So the function is really, really important for us. And if not, you see the response. So it's a delicate balance. It's always, there is a give and take always in the process of development, but we try to, you know, to do both on the same time. And I think, you know, we have many competitors, to be honest, but for us, you know, the functionality of the products really crucial. The products, we care about the environment. We don't want people to throw out, you know, our products. And so yeah, we invest a lot of time and effort to make it really work for a long time.
It's crucial to acknowledge that Ototo's offerings aren't just about whimsical designs or quirky figures. The products are highly functional. Achieving a balance between form and function is essential for success. What would you say to someone that maybe doesn't come from a creative field? Because I think there's a lot of sellers out there that just don't feel comfortable being creative, right? They are very analytical. And maybe they not, you know, they don't take risk at all. Is there anything that maybe you want to say to those people around creativity and how they can create that creative muscle?
Right. So I think creativity can come in so many different ways. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy or too bold. I think creativity can bring, you know, innovation in a way. It doesn't matter what you do. And there are so many examples out there of companies that in the end their creativity is a tiny shift, but a huge shift for the end consumer. So I think that in the end, if you don't have a creative mind, or let's say I believe that everyone are creative, but in the end, if you feel that you need this extra thing, I really recommend working with designers. There are so many experts, good experts out there. And even if you have a low budget, I recommend working with universities, designers that just graduated, trying to infuse this new approach to your products will definitely, you'll see the outcome in the new launch.
I believe that creativity is a muscle that can be exercised and get stronger with time. That is why also with Kepler we're introducing a pro group where our goal is to spark creativity in your day-to-day business in order to drive innovation in your company. If you're struggling to come up with original new ideas and want to also succeed in Amazon, join us at Kepler.com. Maybe you can give us kind of ideas on how a seller, an Amazon seller, could potentially start this type of process, and how maybe Ototo does it. So if you want to come up with a new product, what are the things that will get the ball rolling on the ideation?
Right.
Any type of strategies?
Right. So I think the first task would be to hear your audience, to really listen, open your ears and listen to the audience, listen to the people you want to talk to, deliver a message to. So before you're doing anything, just understand deeply what your consumers really want. And then after that, most of the brand owners, they're not designers. They will try to tweak an existing item with the manufacturer and bring out a new feature. But do they really stand out in the crowd? Do they really deliver a new message? I think that's the biggest question.
We also recognize the vital role of data-driven approach. Research is the essential first step. This is where Kepler steps in, effectively bridging the gap between data and creativity. Our goal is to assist you in developing brands and products that are truly innovative. What's the benefit of creating an original idea? So instead of white labeling, or instead of going to the manufacturer and looking at existing product line and saying, look, let's just change that little bit. What's the benefit of actually coming out with new idea, new tooling?
So, here in our brand, we are doing things like thinking about them from scratch because we see the response of the audience, people looking all the time for, innovation and creativity, and you need to be moving, because in our industry, if you're not moving and shifting and doing things differently, you most likely stay in the same place, which is nice, but you probably won't grow fast or not at all. And I think that innovation brings you keeps you in a different pace, which is really necessary in our industry in the end.
As a design-driven entity, Ototo consistently introduces original products, adapting to an ever-evolving world. And the last question from me, Dani, if you could send one message to Amazon sellers and one tip for 2024 to be more successful, what would you say?
I would say invest in the early process, on the ideation, brainstorming, understand your consumer needs before you go ahead with a new product. And I bet it will be a great secret sauce for your brand.
So if after this video you have more questions than answers, then I have definitely succeeded. Thank you and see you soon.